Hey guys, what's up? This is Chaos here. We're back here with another one, except this time it's a podcast. Now, is the other host here. Say hi,
How's
Luke.
it going? I'm actually recording this video, so you might be able to hear me a bit better than him, but yeah.
Most likely. But either way, the topic is based around current events, really. So we picked a bunch of different topics to talk about. Number one, the legalization of weed, the whole weed problem that we've been having for the past 30, 40 years. Now, I'll start out with the reason why it's taken us so long to legalize weed is because it took forever for them to find a way to tax it, which in a way that sounds pretty selfish. And the only reason why alcohol is obviously legalized is because they found a way to tax it. And the way they have found a way to tax it is through dispensaries. And they control it through there and how much they can sell and other things. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. I think it's retarded that it was even illegal to begin with. Like, let's be honest. It's not the same thing, but it's kind of almost the same thing. It seems like it's something similar to, why psychedelics are illegal. But that's a whole fucking other topic. But yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. I think it's retarded how it's getting legalized here. It should be in Mississippi, but I think it's retarded how it's took them so long to do it, and I think it was, to be honest, retarded how it was even illegal to begin with.
Yeah, and me personally, the thing is like a lot more people have been smoking weed really. Like it's like every month I know somebody that smokes weed in person. I can smell it down the hallway or something. I can smell it off a person. It's becoming more and more like unsensitized to people. Like people just accept it. People realize it's really not that dangerous and harmful like people used to think. Like all these Karens and the fucking government try to project it. And on a federal level, it's becoming decriminalized. At least I'm pretty damn sure, which I think is an amazing thing. But now it's up to the states to officially legalize it because they can still do certain things with it. They could still make it illegal technically, but on a federal level, you don't have to worry about that charge as it being a level class one drug, which is insane for weed to be a level class one drug, which can put you in prison for a long time, and that's just absolutely stupid for weed to be a level class one drug. There's
Sure
so
is
many
stupid.
amazing benefits, so many amazing benefits. Seriously, you gotta try it at least once. And I'm not saying take the longest hit, the biggest riff off of your bong, and I'm not
Yeah,
saying
now
try
now
the
including
most
including
boring
that,
stuff.
and now including that, I will say, for most people, yeah, it's not for everyone. It could have negative effects on some people, but at the end of the day, like he said, it's not gonna fucking kill you. You know,
Exactly. It
it's
shouldn't.
not like you're snorting up a fucking line. It's not anything like
Literally.
that.
You would have to smoke a lot of weed to overdose, like a lot, and you can't even
And even
physically
if you
possibly
and
do that in
and
one
even if you
day.
do overdose, it's not gonna kill you. I don't think. I don't think a weed alone.
It's really not.
I don't think it's even possible that could kill you alone. And all the Karens
Honestly,
that say otherwise are stupid. You know.
honestly, the way I see it is like some people prefer to do it, some people prefer not to do it. It's like some people saying I like the crust on my bread of the last part of the loaf and the bottom of the bag, compared to saying, I don't like my crust. That's how I see it. It's like there's nothing wrong with either of the bread slices. It's not harmful whatsoever.
Nope.
Literally the same thing.
Yeah,
But the
it's
way
all
people usually
choice.
choose to live their lives is just like, oh, the extra crust of bread. Oh God, no. It's so dangerous. It's what the government tells me and feeds through my fucking mouth hole 24/7. Oh no. Like, shut up. I guarantee you, you can't trust a human being fully, so why would you trust your government?
Listen. You know, I don't want to go too much into that topic because, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, get anything. But all I'm saying is, if you're listening, okay, I'm gonna put it the nicest way possible on here, but just like he said, you know, why would you you know, if you can't trust a human being, why would you trust a government, especially from past things that you've seen happen? Do you really think that everything that comes out of their mouth is truth? Do you really think that? Because if you do, I don't know what to tell you at this point, man.
Now, with that being said, I'm not saying go ahead and just like not believe everything and go ahead and shoot up full of heroin because that's illegal.
Well, yeah,
I'm
no,
doing that at all. I'm not saying doing that at all, and I'm not trying to glorify drugs in this video or trying to say you should go do it because, I mean, obviously under YouTube regulations, I can't glorify drugs and I can't go ahead and tell you guys to go out and do it. This is only for educational purposes, by the way. And
every topic on here is, man. Yeah, everything we talk about. And, you know, and that's also goes back to what I was saying earlier, you know, if you don't have to do it, but, you know, I mean, if you want to, my personal opinion on it, I don't see a problem with it. And it shouldn't have been illegal to begin with, honestly.
If anything, just make sure you do your fucking research on different drugs, different things. If you ever choose to do it, or choose to do anything in your life, make sure you research it. Literally, whatever you do. But here's my little motto. Question authority. Think for yourself. That's it. Literally. Do your own research. Live life to the fullest of what it's supposed to be. If anything, alcohol is more dangerous than weed. Seriously.
That it is, man. Because alcohol can actually kill you. Alcohol poison.
That it is. Actually.
Yep.
If you drink enough, like constant alcohol poisoning. I think you can even die in a night if you drink so much, but it has to be a lot, like a lot.
Well, it has to be very, very lethal, yeah, but yeah. It's possible. It's very, very possible. Way easier than weed. Way easier.
Dying on weed. But with that being said, there is a con to weed. If you smoke weed at a younger age constantly, every single day, it can trigger a psychosis when you get older and fuck up how you do shit. Now, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying you do too much of anything, and it's really not a good idea. If you know what I mean.
Too much of anything's bad.
Exactly.
That's how it always is.
Especially when you're younger, still developing. So all those people who watch this video and think it's, oh, so I can do as much as I want, then it's not gonna kill me. I'm 12, 15 years old, 16 years old. No, trust me. It will seriously screw up your future if you do too much of it. It's called psychosis, and it's something not fun at all. It becomes very hard to experience life then, trust me. Constant panic attacks.
Yep, and you'll have problems remembering a lot of things too, because it could also lead to memory loss as well. What with that? Talking, yep. You might also fuck up your words.
Even doing things, playing video games, writing, probably even during sex. It just becomes hard to life because it's a psychosis is so deep written inside of you. Now, I'm sure it's not as bad for some other people, but still, too much of anything is bad, guys. Trust me.
Trust him, he knows from experience.
Yeah.
Alright. You want any?
Next?
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
All right. GameStop. So, I don't know how many of you know this, and I'm going to read the article actually here for you as to what it says. But if you guys don't know, a little bit ways back, maybe not that far back, probably just about a month or two ago, GameStop was supposed to shut down. Okay, I actually remember going to a local mall here in my town, and I actually saw GameStop fucking shutting their shit up, man. Like, they were about to be done for, and that was originally the plan. But apparently a bunch of these people came in and said, you know what, we are going to create a stock to help keep GameStop going. And apparently what this has led to is people apparently, from what I've heard of, gave them money, and that's made like the stocks go up higher and higher and higher throughout, you know, the course of the past like 2 months. But now the GameStop stock situation is under investigation by the U.S. Justice Department.
Now,
Yep.
I would like to add on to that. Probably the only reason why they're investigating that is probably because they think there's a possibility that they rigged it, when that is a good possibility, honestly, because something like this just doesn't happen. And also considering the fact that that many people would give money to an organization like that quickly, I'm not so sure about. So if you want to be honest, it's probably 60-40 for the fake stocks. That's probably what it is, most likely. Either that or it's just a hacker or some shit. I personally don't think a lot of people really paid. And if it did happen, that's cool.
I don't see that.
Services shit. Fuck GameStop.
Yeah, GameStop is always a piece of shit store, in my opinion. They treated their customers fucking terrible, if you ask me. You know, every experience I've had there hasn't really been that good. You know.
Yeah, honestly, they always trying to get a deal out of you. That's literally what it is. And the managers literally teach their coworkers to always get something out of them, no matter what. It's like, Jesus Christ. There's this YouTuber, right, who covers games and information and a bunch of other shit, right? And he used to be a GameStop worker himself, so he literally knows how GameStop works. And I've literally seen him talk about like how literally just disgusting and corrupt GameStop is, how their workers are. It's truly disgusting. Money. That's literally all they're trying to get out of you.
That's kind of your experiences at McDonald's too. I know, you know, I know that's a whole different thing, but like the people at McDonald's treat you like shit as well, you know.
Yes, it's the lowest of the class of like fast food chain. Personally, how I see it is,
and there's particular
McDonald's.
and there's certain particular type of people working there as well, if you know what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah, totally. How I see it is McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Subway, and anything else up than that. And the lowest of the food chain is McDonald's. Now, I've seen some better Burger Kings and Subways, but usually Subways are the best, from my personal.
Yep. Anyways, this article here, it says the stakes have been raised high in the great GameStop stocks declare as the U.S. Justice Department has become involved after the White House and Congress have weighed in on the recent situation. It now seems that the federal investigators are becoming involved, despite the overall situation being more calmed down. The aftermath is still one that could have lots of consequences for both individuals and the stock market itself. And then it goes on to say, at the start of 2021, the stock for GameStop began to rise quite dramatically thanks to a short squeeze going from a mere $20 $20 per share to $40 per share, and then all the way up to the triple digits. And the stock soared for about a week, largely thanks in part due to media attention and the help of prominent figures like the richest man in the world, even Elon Musk. And it didn't take much for the momentum of the stock to get going, but once it did, it became an event that will surely go down in history. You know, and I kind of have the same opinion on that as you. I think that some of it's legit, obviously, some of it has to be. Now, I personally think that I don't think that many people invested for it to get all the way in the triple digits. I don't think so. I don't see that many people sharing.
Yeah, you just mentioned Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Did he pay extra money?
It says right here that the stock soared for about a week, largely thanks in part due to media attention. Oh, okay. Well, now that I reread that, maybe. It said the help of prominent figures like Elon Musk. So now, okay, if Elon Musk promoted it, possibly somewhat, I don't know. It depends.
Now, Elon Musk is literally the richest man in the world, so he could literally do whatever the fuck he wanted to.
Yeah, that's true.
But it still rose and soared even before Elon Musk was involved in it, I'm guessing. So, kinda still depends.
Yeah, it really does. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence here on this topic just because, if Elon Musk did help, it makes it a little bit more legit, but I still think that some of that was manipulated. Just, kind of, just even if it was a little bit, I still think it was kind of manipulated somewhat, man. I'll be completely honest with you on that one. But yeah, I mean, just all depends. Then it says right here, sadly, all good things must come to an end. The stock eventually plummeted and is now down to about $50 a share, which is still overvalued, but a drastic dip from what it has been riding at. Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, it says here, the U.S. Justice Department is looking into the chaos by investigating social media companies like Reddit. Fucking Reddit, man. The chaos, I know you use Reddit a little bit, man. He's muted right now, but fuck. Chaos uses Reddit somewhat. I don't know. I think Reddit's kind of a fucking joke, man. I'll be honest with
you. Dude, you want to know what I use Reddit for?
Uh-huh. What? What?
We already know.
Uh-huh.
That's why.
Yeah, Petrov Wolfric taught him that one. Shout out, my brother. Hope shit's going good if you're watching. Nah, bro. Those hot cosplay babes.
Oh, I'm not into that.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Anyways, I don't know. I don't really have too much to add on. I think it was manipulated, kinda, but it might have not been. It's kind of I'm kind of on the fence about it. Because if Elon Musk helped, possibly, but like you said, it was kind of rising before he even shouted it out, probably.
Yeah, and this is gonna lead us to the next topic that's also been recent. Crazy shit. Yep. So it's time Joe Biden. Shit on Joe fucking Biden. Okay, it's time to absolute just dog shit this dude out. Like literally. The worst president, one of the most worst presidents, in my own opinion, in the history of the United States of America. Not to just mention, before I even get into my first point, I would like to just add a disclaimer who's put so many people out of jobs already, who's losing their houses, losing their cars, losing everything because they have to sell it just to survive, fucking up everybody's marriages, destroying everything. And he doesn't even know what the fuck he's signing. Says that out loud. Just a little disclaimer: Joe Biden is shit. All right, so do you have a point you would like to make at first?
Dude, this guy's a fucking clown, man. What can I even say about him? Like, this motherfucker is a straight up fucking clown, you know? Like, one, you know this motherfucker probably has dementia. I mean, just look at the way he acts. I think anyone with a couple of brain cells knows that this motherfucker isn't right.
Dude on his deathbed trying to remember, but he looks like half fucking lizard.
Dude, the only reason. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
And let me make another fucking point here. While Trump was still in office, everyone tried to call him the racist one. When literally, he's made remarks towards black people like fucking, yeah, that's why you're going to end up in chains one day. And let's not to mention, you can go back 10, 20 years and see a video of him, you know, using a word that I don't know if I can fucking say here because of fucking censorship. But, you know, and it's stupid how everyone's calling Trump the racist one whenever Joe Biden's taking actions like that, you know? So, I don't know. It's just kind of stupid, you know?
Here's my little 2 cents.
Yep,
Yeah,
go ahead.
here's my little 2 cents. I haven't really seen Trump say a racist thing, but then again, I've heard him say quote-unquote sexist things, but the thing about that is that you can clearly tell it's a fucking joke, and I make jokes like that all the time. And I bet you your buddies do too, behind closed doors. And I bet you do too, just not in front of everybody on Instagram.
Nope.
Because you're afraid you're going to get canceled.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. And let me just say something.
Racist,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He 2 things, but very short. He said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. So what does that mean? Do you just entitle every fucking African American to vote for you now? Okay.
You know, I've met African Americans that were actually wanted to vote for Trump, man. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
I've met plenty of them, man. I've met plenty of them.
Yeah, I have too, really.
Yeah.
He also called little black kids cockroaches. Literally.
The fuck?
Seriously.
Dude, what the hell?
He was talking about when he was younger, right? He used to go to pools and stuff. The little black, and his leg hair is blonde, right? And little black kids, African American kids, would push his hair down in the pool and just stargaze and watch the blonde hair go back up. And then he says something along the lines of, now don't come at me with 1,000 knives at my neck, but he says something about how he likes, or how it fascinates those little cockroaches and how he loves them so much. Something like that.
Fuck?
I know he calls them cockroaches. There's a literal video up of him literally at a speech saying this. And it is Joe Biden saying this. You can clearly tell. But that's faintly how it goes. But he literally calls the little black kids cockroaches. Now, that's not word for word, but it's also some word for word. That's just from my memory. If you have any questions down in the comments, I will happily help you find that fucking video. Happily.
Yeah, and if you want me to share the video of, you know, him saying more racist shit, I'll happily I'll happily dig up all those fucking videos to you for you actually as well.
Yep. So what were you gonna say then, Luke? Not that long ago.
Oh, I was gonna say just the fact that liberals are and not just them, but also a lot of other people. Now, and just don't think because in this video we're arguing against Biden that we're pro-Trump. Because I know I sure as hell ain't. I'm not pro anyone. In fact, I think Trump's made a lot of retarded fucking clown decisions too. However, I think Joe Biden's done way worse than him. You know, I think that a lot of this, stuff and that comments that he's made saying, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's like saying that each individual has to vote for, Democrat every time, or, they have to vote Republican every time, just because they don't even know what the fuck, is like their belief system or ideology is. It's just like, yeah, this is what I believe in. I can't explain why I believe in it, but this is what I believe in right here. Boom, boom, boom. Every time. And I think that's what this has caused, right? It's because you have liberals out here in the PC police saying shit like, "Oh, well, if you vote for Trump, you're racist," or people saying stuff like this. Whenever it's really the opposite if you look into it. And I think that's why, well, aside from voter fraud that we could all fucking talk about, but I think that's the reason why we get fucking retards like this motherfucker in office, because people don't know who the hell they're voting for. They really don't, And I think that's even been proven time and time again, that people that and it's even been proven 10, 20 years ago, that the people's vote really doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
And this is a situation where you can see it clear as fucking day.
It's literally, dude, I've literally watched different sections of states that were the majority of the vote just fucking get demolished out of nowhere by the other color. Even though 99% of these sections in these counties were literally the opposite color and the biggest cities ever. But out of nowhere, snap. Like, what the fuck, dude? What was that? Like, I literally watched the election. I watched the votes inside this state happen. And I'm like, what? Now,
dude, I went to bed, man. I went to bed that one night, and most of the fucking United States was red, and then I woke up the next morning, and fucking 75% of it was fucking blue. Like, what? Like, how does that work?
It makes no sense.
It's like they went back on their word of who won the state,
Yeah, that's how I see it too. But like I've been trying to say, you could also claim the whole California-Nevada thing, because a lot of Californians are leaving into Nevada or whatever because they getting tired of this fucking prices and shit. But that's only one state. That's only two states. We're talking about multiple states that it happened to. Not just that. We're talking about multiple states.
Yep.
Multiple.
Like 10, even 15, even more than that.
Yeah, even where the states really counted, we're talking about those. Not just California, Nevada, and Arizona. No.
Yeah.
And I know California has a huge influence on the voting, but there's a few other states that are called the win-win states. If you get those, most likely you win. And Trump, it looked like Trump was getting those. And I'm not trying to glorify Trump, but I'm just saying I'd rather have it fair, and I'd rather have a lesser retard than a bigger retard. And honestly, I agree with.
You're still gonna have a retard either way, but
yeah, you're still gonna have a retard. But
don't get someone. Yeah, don't get okay. Both they're retards, but don't put someone in the fucking office with dementia and other fucking health conditions that are and honestly, if you're for Biden, no offense, but this motherfucker's probably gonna be dead in 2 years, man. If even that long. Let's just be honest here. Because that's their whole fucking thing. They want a woman president. Ugh. Okay. Cool. Good you, bud. Your country's getting fucked in the ass and fucking butt raped by fucking retards like this. So.
It's the same thing with Barack Obama. The only reason why he was sitting there. The only reason why he was sitting there is because he's black. All these promises he made, he never fulfilled while he was in office. He didn't do much. Seriously.
Now, I feel like, I feel like Trump, don't get mad, but, I feel Trump did a decent job in office. I really do. He did better than Barack Obama, and I think, and I don't even think that's based on opinions, dude. I think that's a fact because he actually did more than he did. He actually did more than Obama.
Dude, look at our jobs.
Let's be honest.
Look at our jobs. Seriously, look at our jobs. It's so easy to get a job. He put so many more jobs in. He buffed up the military. He did the stimulus checks, and he wanted to give another stimulus, but literally the fucking what's it called? House was just like, no, this is $600. Like, no, dude, that's not enough. It's really not. And so he just said, fuck it. The thing is like, they've done. He's truly tried to help us, and of course, he's going to do some things I'm not going to agree with. That's a human being. But he was helping us, literally, especially during COVID. It's like he was beefing us up. More jobs, more everything.
I kind of like the fact that
military 2 times stronger.
I kind of like the fact as well, and I know whenever they were doing their little, debates or whatever, presidential debates or whatever, I know Biden had a big problem with this because he used the fucking COVID-19 quote-unquote pandemic to win the election or make it easy for him to win it. But I actually kind of like the fact that Trump was focusing on other things more than, saying, "Oh, we gotta get protected from this virus. Oh, it's so scary. Everyone's gonna fucking die." I like that he leaned away from that, but now fucking Biden's just like, fuck it, As soon as,
Dude, the thing is like, it's not even a problem. They literally created vaccines. Literally. Dude, think about it like this. Trump literally got the vaccine before his presidency, and he promised that. It literally came. But we don't really need to focus on COVID because, like, once people get vaccinated, and I do have a little bit of a thing about vaccinations, but once people get vaccinated, there is no problem. So literally.
Shit'll be over with, hopefully.
Even though I don't really believe in certain vaccines, I think there's certain things you need to take, like the tetanus shot.
Oh yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to take that whenever you're 13.
Man. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
you have to. But I've never taken a flu shot, and I'm almost always healthy.
And that fucks people up. That hurts your health when you take flu shots.
Yep.
And other vaccinations as well.
Something? I know people who regularly get the flu and they've taken the flu shot. I'll be honest.
There you go.
I've never taken a flu shot vaccine, never, and I'm almost always healthy, almost never sick. I went almost a year without getting sick. In the past year, literally.
There's natural ways you can make your immune system better, not by a shot, not by a vaccine.
There is. And alright, one of the things, and one of the reasons why men don't get so sick as women is because we pick our fingernails, we tend to dig in dirt, we tend to do grittier sports and stuff. And that's because of the germs. That's because once your body fights off these germs after so long, it literally makes it stronger. Pain makes you stronger, fighting makes you stronger, working out makes you stronger. And I'm not saying try to kill yourself and you'll become stronger. No, not like that. I'm not
Make
saying
a change,
that
guys.
You dumbass. What I'm saying is that once you expose yourself, you become hardened. And that goes for everything. Somewhat. To germs, to working out, to relationships, to sometimes terrible things. Trauma is really supposed to help you grow stronger. It really is. Bad things usually people come out stronger, but sometimes they get trauma, and then they have to get over that. I'm not saying, oh yeah, that's so easy to do. I'm saying, no, you do that through a natural, slow process of acceptance. You gotta accept yourself, and you gotta accept the events in your life. You just have to, or you're gonna go nowhere. You're gonna go absolutely nowhere. Guaranteed.
Yep.
And it takes time, I understand that. But you can't dick around all day and hope somebody circle jerks you and a bunch of other buddies all day, every single day.
Yep.
And you being depressed, I'm sorry, but the pill is not the way. I swear.
Hell no. No, it's not.
Antidepressants, no, they're not good. I know so many people.
That actually fucks up shit in your life more. Antidepressants do.
It does.
So there's no point, you know.
I know so many people. Who's had antidepressants, and it did literally nothing. It's just made it worse. You gotta you gotta set your standards lower and find happiness within yourself, with everything just around you. It's you. You're the key. Nothing else is. You can't expect life to give you everything. Or anything at all. You just gotta be happy with yourself, with the things you have.
No. That's what he's saying is true. Yep. Is there anything you'd like to add on here?
Nah.
What's all right. Next topic? Current state of America.
Oh, you want to start out first?
You can, man, because I don't have too many good things to say.
Alright, I don't either, but with that being said, I'll start out, Luke. Current state of America, at least of riots and the Capitol Hill, I think the whole thing was retarded. And me personally, I think Black Lives Matter riots were way more dangerous than Capitol Hill. I still haven't even found out if anybody was actually killed in Capitol Hill. Now, and I'm almost positive some people were injured and some people fell off, but that's from their own doing. Now, you could be like, oh yeah, they stole really big stuff, but I'm pretty sure they got that all back. I'm not saying that's good or bad. If they lock people up, that's cool, good for them. But just saying, I think it was a little bit staged. And no, I don't think Trump incited it. There's nothing he said at his speeches that incited it at all. If anything, he literally said to have a peaceful protest. All that does is incite a peaceful protest, not incite a violent protest. Literally in the discussion for Capitol Hill. Now I would like to go into the Black Lives Matter riots protest. That was very terrible, and I've seen a lot of famous people try to say, oh, Capitol Hill was so worse. Like, shut up. You literally tried to attack the White House. You literally set things on fire. You literally stole things. There's a reason why. There's a reason why. I forget the branch or whatever it's called, but what's it called when they were activated at the White House? What is it called? What's the type of army? The branch of military? You know what I'm talking about. But when they were activated, it's literally the White House. Let's be honest. That's easier. That's almost expected. They have 1,000 protocols, so I'm pretty sure they didn't have 1,000 protocols for Capitol Hill, and it really wasn't that violent. That's the thing. It wasn't that violent as it was at Washington, D.C., at the White House. There's a reason why they used tear gas. There's a reason why they shot you full of rubber bullets, because you were extremely violent at the protest. You were setting things on fire. You were trying to beat your way into the fucking White House, which is the most important place in America. Isn't that obvious? Isn't that obvious? You were way more violent. You can't even dispute that. You can keep living in a wonderland, your CP, stupid fucking libtard world, but let's be honest. For months, you literally broke into homes, you broke into stores, stole things, you beat up people for no reason, even for the slightest thing. People died, and I'm not just saying the police killed people. And you want to be honest, you want to know what the autopsy reports of George Floyd that started all this? An overdose. He overdosed
Fentanyl. Yep.
on fentanyl. That's why he was acting so nervous, acting so weird. Because he was high off drugs. He was scared he was going to get caught. I'm pretty sure 8 years ago he held a pregnant woman at gunpoint. But you want to know why you didn't hear about the autopsy report? Because the family tried to pay the people for that when it come out. And obviously, where does this information go? To the media, to the news. And the news wants money. That's all they care about, let's be honest. The reason why they have the weather up is so you can watch it. It's so everybody can watch it. You want to know why? Because that brings views. It's literally the only reason why they have the weather. It's literally the only reason why they report on things. And half of it is not even truly real. Or not the full story, you could say. Yeah, sure, it could be real, but it's not even the full story. And you keep things out. And it brings mass attention. It's the news, it's the media. And then you choose to believe this and you go ape shit. Because you didn't know the full story. It's dumb, it's stupid. George Floyd overdose. He was not murdered. Obviously, he couldn't breathe. You know what fentanyl does to you? You want to be honest? That cop didn't look like he was trying to snap his neck that hard. He really wasn't. And he was older, too. That's the thing, is that he was older. I don't think he could even snap his neck. Somebody could do that to my neck, and I could still find a way to breathe. Now, you want to be honest? The cop probably had some misinformation. He thought he was just bullshitting. The cop probably should have figured out if he was on drugs or not. Honestly. But if you want to be honest, George should have been like, I'm on fentanyl. I can't breathe. I'm dying. I'm on fentanyl. But you didn't hear him say that, did you? No.
All you heard is crying and I can't breathe. That's all you heard, you know. You didn't hear nothing about the fentanyl. You didn't hear nothing about the fucking autopsy report when it came out. I did. But most people didn't. Because it was so, you know, they didn't want people to know about it. Because it would show that what really happened, and people don't want you to know what really happened, you know. So, that's just something, you know, it's...
So, do you have anything to say?
The current state of America has made me... this isn't a joke, but the current state of America has made me wish that I was in Canada some days, you know. The amount of hypocrisy that, you know, comes from presidents, from PC police libtards, from, you know, even the current president we're living with right now, you know. The hypocrisy of all this, Black Lives Matter, everyone rights, woohoo, you know, feminism, all this stupid shit that people are fucking coming up with, and that people are saying that's so bad, and that people are saying that, you know, should be killed, or, you know, all this type of shit. And it's, you know, and Capitol Hill, all this stuff, you know, raiding the White House, you know, shit, all this stuff that's happened is just like, you know, it's the country that I live in here you know, and me and Cass a little bit. The country we live in is so fucking just petty and manipulative that, you know, even when, you know, how can you really trust, you know, a government, you know, or anything like that whenever all this stupid shit continues to happen and they make something out of it, you know? Every time I go in public and see someone wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, I stare them down and laugh at them, man. Because it's just so fucking ridiculous, you know? All these rights, all these stupid things are just stupid, man. You know? All these, you know, fucking just accusations that, you know, feminists come up with. All this stupid shit, you know? It's like, you know, honestly, some days I wonder how people survive in the real world, you know? Like, how do they make it? Because, like, these days, they censor, you know, words even, you know? such stupid as retard, you know? Like, since when was that ever offensive, you know? Like, let's be honest here. People get offended at stupid things, and then things we're making up and making incidents out of, you know, George Floyd, which, you know, George Floyd is probably the worst example of everything, you know, considering that, like he said probably 8 or 9 years ago, he held a woman at gunpoint. And I actually don't know if it's true, but I heard somewhere that he's also raped women as well. So, I don't know why you're using him as an example for Black Lives Matter. And, you know, you can say every other lives matter, you know, all this stuff, you know. And you want me to be honest, people want to speak on racism all the time. Black Lives Matter in of itself is racist. It is. It is, right? Because it's like, you know, what about other races? You know, what's in it for them, you know? And the whole reason that shit started was because of someone who died of a fentanyl overdose. That was probably the worst example ever. Right? You say the people in America's vote matter, they don't fucking matter. You know, like, you know, like we're literally, you know, our president literally, you know, that we have right now in America is literally won by using dead people's IDs, you know, and that's something you got to think about, you know. Our and, you know, I don't expect a lot from the next 4 years either, you know. It's just going to be more propaganda and hypocrisy, you know. More libtards showing their face, you know. Just, and it only is going to get worse, you know. So, and it's stupid, you know. Like, and it's sad because it's a fact at this point that America's probably the most sensitive country. And I hate to say it, but America's probably one of the most sensitive countries. The most freest, but at the same time most sensitive. You know, think about that. Think about all the, like, you know, stuff that's getting flared around. It's not getting flared around. It may be getting flared a little bit. You know, all this stupid Black Lives Matter bullshit. But it's not getting flared around as bad. It's not as hardcore as here in America. And that's what I think's retarded.
A new court document says George Floyd had fatal levels, quote unquote, fatal levels of fentanyl in his system. So
what do you think he died of? Exactly.
If the knee did kill him, didn't kill him, he would have probably still died of an overdose.
Let's be honest. Even if cops didn't talk to him at all, let's be honest here. Even if he wasn't still in that thing, even whatever, you know. Let's be honest. Having that level of fentanyl, yeah, exactly. So technically, if you want me to be honest, the cop had every right to put his knee on him. You know, maybe not on his neck, but yes, he had every right. He had every right. Cops have done that. You know,
if you resist arrest,
you want to know something?
If you resist arrest, cops can slam your fucking head onto the ground.
Yeah, you want to know something
Like a
else
rag
too?
doll.
You want
Literally,
to
they
know
can.
something else too? Lately here, a similar event happened only with a white person, but you haven't heard about that, have you? Yeah, something similar has happened with white people over and over again, but you don't hear about it, do you? You only heard about George Floyd because he was an African American, huh? Hypocrisy, man. Hypocrisy. Just like saying Black Lives Matter, but you're a racist Nazi if you say White Lives Matter. Hypocrisy. Right there. Boom. You know? So, you know, it's you know, stupid. Yeah, you only be, yeah, everyone. There you go. Yeah. And that's true. So if you want to say White Lives Matter is racist, then Black Lives Matter is just as equally racist. Let's be honest here. So, you know, how about, you know, let's stop with all this stupid shit. Because saying stuff like that to begin with is like, oh, I'm more important than you. You know, I'm over you. You know, you're just like nothing, and I'm over you. You know, like I'm above and I'm beyond. You know, like more than what you'll ever be. That's like basically saying you're better than someone, which it is. You know, that's basically what it is saying. And just like Chaos just said, everyone's live. It does matter. So why don't we start acting like it and stop acting like 5-year-old fucking children storming the Capitol Hill like little retards? I've said my fucking piece. The current state of our country is just sad, you know? Fuck, I don't even think it was this bad 15 years ago. Oh shit, I don't even think it was, like this, you know, would have happened. Dude, like, fuck, you know. You have any more things? So, you have anything else to say?
No, we just got done with the current state of America.
Next topic.
Let's go next one.
Marilyn Manson rape allegations. Oh boy, where do I start on this one?
Abuse allegations.
Abuse, rape, you know, whatever. Abuse allegations. So. Yeah. What the fuck? Like, you know, even looking at this, yeah, I'll start out. Even looking at this slideshow, I can't take either person seriously. Neither fucking him or the woman, because he looks just as fucking gay as whoever the fuck feminist I'm looking at right here. This is a topic, and Chaos probably has a different opinion, but this is a topic I'm on the fence about. Simply because, oh, well, a lot of reasons. Now, based on ways I've seen him act, Manson, based on, you know, because I have listened to his music and I have liked it in the past. I still think his first album, Portrait of an American Family, is decent, pretty good. You know, it's not terrible, it's actually tolerable. However, knowing him and his personality, way beyond his music, actually him, okay, talking about him, he is a... Let's just be honest and say it. He is a very creepy person. You know, not like scary. Like very. He's a fucking creep. Let's just be honest, dude. He's a fucking pervert creep. Let's just be honest here. Anyone that has seen interviews of him, anyone that knows him, knows this. Okay. Now, the reason that I'm on the fence, do I think he could have did it? Yes. I think this is very possibly could have happened. Do I think it's word for word what happened? No. Do I think it very possibly could have happened? Yeah, I do. I think it's something that he actually very would do, you know, in just a snap of a finger. I think he would be all for some fucked up shit like this. Now, on the other hand, there's a lot of feminists that like to make rape allegations or abuse allegations or all this shit, and it never actually be a thing with this whole stupid fucking Me Too movement shit that's happening. So it's like, if he did abuse you, you know, and I'll also talk about, you know, counterject what I'm about to say here as well, just to, you know, kind of get an idea and kind of be, you know, give both sides the equal attention. I don't see how, if he did abuse you, why didn't you come out with it, you know, 10, 12 years ago when it actually happened? Why are you waiting till just now? Okay, why are you waiting till now? Why? If that happened back then, why are you waiting till just now to say something about it? Why didn't you say something back then whenever he was in his prime? You could have really fucked him up whenever he was in his prime and he was fucking famous. Because he still had some drive left in him back 10, 12 years ago. He still,
I can rebuttal to that.
I know what you're going to say and I know what you're going to rebuttal with. I'm actually going to talk about this as well. Well, I might not know exactly, but I'm also going to talk about that as well. On the same hand, you can say, well, maybe they didn't come out with that and say that because he was so popular at the time and, you know, the surrounding at the time. Maybe people, you know, would have thought she was coming across as a liar and trying to make his name look bad. Because he was still pretty popular back 10, 12 years ago. People still knew his name. Because, you know, fuck, man, he was still touring and shit. He doesn't tour as much now, but he was still touring quite regularly back then. However, yeah, it could have been something like that. There have been, like, you know, them thinking, you know, she was lying about it, or, you know. But at the same time, you know, with me saying this, you know, like, recently, like, 3 or 4 women's came out and said he's abused them. So, whenever it comes out from, like, 3 or 4 people, it's kind of like,
famous people, by the way. Famous people. Some famous people.
Yeah. So whenever it comes out by 3 or 4 famous people, it's like, you know, because the more and more, you know, the stories match up, the more and more truth you think there is to them, unless they all got together and said, yeah, we're going to make up this big lie. I think it's retarded that they're waiting just now to come out with it. I think that the fact, for me, the fact that they're waiting 10, 15 fucking years to come out with this is ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Not all of them were at the same time either.
Well, not all were at the same time, but the big one was around 10, 12 years ago. I don't see why it didn't come out then. I mean, you know, she could have, you know, said what I was saying right there. But I just think it's ridiculous. I think that, you want me to be honest?
Basically admitted it.
He has in the past, yes. I've actually seen, that's another thing.
He said it was consensual.
No, he did say it was consensual, but was it? That's the big question. Was it really? Now, I think that, you want me to be honest, I think that Marilyn Manson as a person's a fucking clown. Okay, I think he's a retard. Like, all, you know, just look at him. Would you really take someone like that seriously? Like, look at this fucking slideshow here. You really take someone like that seriously? No. I would take her more seriously than him. However, you know, I digress. And I don't know. This is a topic I'm on the fence about. Do I believe he could have did it? Do I believe if someone just said, you know, in general, you know, this happened, would I believe it? Yeah. But the fact that they've waited so long to come out with it, it's kind of sus to me, man. It's like, are you just trying to get some fucking money, bitch? Like, what are you trying to do? Let's be honest. Could it have happened? Yeah. Could she have been too scared to come out with it back then? Sure. So I don't know. The odds are leaning more towards the fact that he might have did it than the fact that, you know, they're all just lying. But there is still a possibility that they could all just be fucking lying. But, you know, that's just how I see it. I'm on the fence. I can't say either way. However, I am leaning more toward the fact that he probably did do it, let's be honest. But the question is, you know, just like Chaos was saying earlier as well, was it consensual? Who knows? But I've also seen the age gap. The fact that he was 40 at the time and she was 19 is kind of fucking yikes for me. Okay? It's over 18, so it's not like, ooh, illegal, but it's still kind of fucking yikes. And fucking, ugh. Anyways,
me personally?
Yeah, Chaos. Let's hear your view on it, man.
He may or may not have done all of them, but I think he did do it. I really do. Here's why. You know John 5-0? He's assaulted him on stage multiple times for no reason. Literally. No joke.
Yeah.
He's assaulted his own guitarist multiple times on stage. To me, that's almost enough proof. He has a very destructive personality, as you can see. I mean, just look at his shows. Look how fucking crazy they were. Like, I get the whole, like, anti-God thing, but, like, do you have to burn a 12-foot fucking cross? His lifestyle is very destructive. So do I believe this? Yes, I do. And was some of them consensual? I mean, maybe. But I'm sure he got the urge just like he did on John 5-0 and went off. And I'm sure he thought he was untouchable because he was fucking famous. Top playing headline every single show. The biggest name in the entire world at the rock community. And when you have lots of money, you have power. And when you have power, everybody wants to be around you. Especially nobodies. And a lot of nobodies are around you. And you think you can do whatever you want. Here's a little thing that might sound a little bit more messed up. Now, this is still a good comparison to me personally because this dude is worth over $1 billion. His name is El Chapo. He raped a woman in prison. When you have so much money like El Chapo, when you've escaped Mexico's prison twice, when you're basically untouchable because you have so much money, which means power, and everybody knows you, nobody's going to believe the false accusation. Essentially, you're a fucking king and you can do whatever you want, and when you have so much money, you get spoiled, you get entitled, and you don't like being told no. Now, you could call me a terrible, horrible person because El Chapo killed a lot of people, and he smuggled drugs, but he had a lot of money and a lot of power. It didn't matter. If he still had money and power, he would be very tempted to do whatever the fuck he wanted. Guaranteed. And with somebody as rich as Marilyn Manson, holy shit, I would cut my limbs off to be as rich as he would. Let's be honest. So yes, I do think he did it. I really do. The money, the power, and all the thousands of people around him, he probably saw like ants. And I'm sure he loved the crowd cheering for him, and I'm sure it built up his ego very well. All the terrible news on him, how everybody just dehumanized him in different interviews way back then, all the Christian moms and everything, I'm sure that just added to his ego. And I'm sure he felt untouchable. Now, you could say that about Elon Musk, but you look at Elon Musk and you can tell he's a little bit more down to earth just by the interviews he's done. But you look at the interviews that this fucking weirdo has done, you can tell he's egotistical. You can tell he thinks he's full of himself. You can tell. You think every single fucking song he makes is platinum, golden, perfect. You can tell. Everything he does, he glorifies himself. Just look at what he wears. Look at his makeup. It's for attention.
Like he's royal, so like he's fucking king, man.
Yeah, like he's king. Literally. Just look at him. Look at the way he acts. I think he did do it. Now, did he do all of them? I'm not sure. That's what I don't know. Obviously, but I think he has done this many times before. I think he thinks he's some kind of El Chapo. Walking Guzman, who thinks he's untouchable because he has money and money means power. When people see money and power, they want to be around you. and you see him like little ant. And what happens with that? You abuse your power at least more than once, and you get a little cocky, you get a little arrogant. Then oop, you're extradited to America. Then oop, the FBI is on your ass investigating you because you abused someone. Now, if you don't know what I'm trying to say, El Chapo was extradited to the United States, to a different prison in the United States. He got caught.
Popularity and media attention, and having ideas that have popped off and have made it big. And especially when there's more. Yeah, and especially when there's.
He's been under the heat for many different topics before. Many different things before. But he's walked out of interviews recently over this, clearly mad. But he's never been mad about anything before. And he's been under the hot seat for many different things.
Oh yeah. And he's talked about all those topics and denied them, and said they were false rumors and all that. But this is the one topic that whenever it gets brought up, he just walks away, or says, I'm not going to talk about stupid rumors. But if you watch his interviews from even way back, he clearly does. And what you're saying makes sense, man. I still am on the fence whether, he did all of them. But yeah, I mean, what you're saying makes sense of a few, yeah. It actually makes a lot of sense, man. And what I was going to say is, whenever money and power and media attention, news, whatever, gets involved, it can lead to some pretty bad shit. There's plenty of examples I've saw where media attention has led to some bad shit. And whenever a person is on top and getting all that attention like he has, and he was for like many years, it can lead to you doing some fucked up shit and treating everyone else around you like shit, and like ants, and like they don't matter. So yeah, on to the last topic, and that is
the last topic, is it?
How people.
We don't have any more.
We have one more. People are still believing that COVID-19 is so dangerous and that people are dying solely because just the virus. I'll let you start this one out, Chaos, if you want.
Now, me personally, I think COVID is a real thing, but I don't think it's exactly the real thing. I think it's very over-exaggerated, like Black Lives Matter and George Floyd. Now, when you can rebuttal and say, look at the numbers, they're real, they're true. Sort of, kind of, they are kind of true. When you say COVID deaths, it's not just a regular COVID death. It can be complicated, mixed with many other medical conditions, depending on your age also. And a lot of COVID deaths is either very elderly people or very mixed, complicated deaths. So the media takes that, twists it into a white lie, and say it is a COVID death. Which, yes, sort of, kind of it is. Sure. But these other things heavily contributed to these real-life deaths. I actually have a story for you. I know somebody who, quote-unquote, their dad died from COVID. Very sad about that. It ruined a lot of things, but he drank heavily, right? And he had COVID, but him drinking so hardcore broke down his immune system, which made him extremely sick. That right there is not just a regular COVID death. It's because he drank so heavily, it fucked up his immune system. And then he got pneumonia. He went into the hospital, and he died. You want to know why? He was coming off of his alcohol. When you come off of alcohol, after drinking so heavily like somebody he did, You get sicker, very sick, and that's how he died. Sure, COVID made it worse. He also had pneumonia too. It's not just a COVID death. It's really different than what you think. And that's what a lot of COVID deaths are. Just stay healthy, man. And I'm not just saying that, oh yeah, I sit all day, yeah, I'm totally healthy. I'm saying do healthy things. You don't have to be super and fit and shit, but just do things that make sure you're gonna live a decent amount, you know? Work out for 30 minutes a day. That's all you gotta do. At least cardio. Eat decent. Don't drink all day every day, because that's what's going to kill you. And COVID is going to contribute to the alcohol, to the pneumonia, to anything else. But I'll be honest, if he didn't drink so heavily, he probably wouldn't have died. Because that's what really got him. That's what fucked up his lungs. That COVID kept coming in, and then the pneumonia came in because of the COVID, because he had no immune system. Now, if he didn't drink so heavily, he would probably just not have gotten pneumonia. He would have probably just naturally, like his wife, got over COVID. Because I guarantee you, she did not have pneumonia like he did. But he drank all day. That's all he did. He drank all day.
She probably didn't drink as heavily as him either, pretty sure.
Yep. Like all day. So that's just one case, that's just one story. And I'm sure those freak instances where you do die. But it's almost impossible, I swear to God. Look at Trump, he recovered. He had COVID. And he's 70 some years old. You wanna know why? It's because he's healthy. He takes care of himself. Sure, he has a little belly, but that's normal when you get older. He doesn't work out so heavily, but he doesn't gorge himself. He doesn't drink all day. He doesn't do all these terrible things like a decent amount of people do in the world nowadays. And that's the sad reality of a lot of people. Is that they fuck up their body. So that's my personal take on COVID. I think COVID is real, but I think it's a lot of twisted things, just like George Floyd, Black Lives Matter, like the riots, like many countless other things in the history of the United States of America. Like Martin Luther King Jr. I'm pretty sure he beat on his wife. My social studies teacher told me that. He was a terrible father. He beat on his wife.
Yep.
Or like the Indians. We literally forced them off of their lands, constantly moving. So many got sick. Most of them died. And that was just from our United States government. Yeah, you could say that's so long ago, but we keep repeating and doing terrible things. And then it comes out, and then we know about it. And in the next few hundred years, people are going to reflect and be like, oh, that was terrible. Now I know the truth. I bet you my government isn't like that today. It's just going to keep repeating. It's going to be nothing because it's in the past, right? No. The truth is there. You just gotta.
History always repeats itself as well.
Yep, history repeats itself. True saying. Anyways, that's my little take. So, do I think COVID is real? Yes, I do. I think COVID is real. Hell yeah. But that's my little take. Now, if Luke has anything to say, he can. If not, I'll do the outro.
I have a little bit to say. I'm not gonna go too in depth for reasons, but do I think COVID is real? Hell no. And there's many reasons why I think that. there's many reasons why I think that it's nothing more than a stupid fucking flu that people can just get over. A little strain of the flu, you know. Old people have died with flu before and other stuff. Even before, you know. And there's also the argument that COVID's been around for a while now. If you want to call it COVID, sure, go ahead. But any new deadly virus coming around, no. Not at all. As far as, you know, COVID-19 being deadly, all this stupid shit, no. As far as it being a deadly virus, no. I think that's all fucking fake, twisted bullshit. Now, I think that it's also a ploy to, you know, to get people to buy into tyranny and bullshit. And, you know, stuff that might be coming after might not look too pretty, especially where our country's headed. You know, I'm not going to go too in depth in that tonight. I'll probably talk about that maybe in another video or another time. But yeah, a lot of what Chaos said pretty much sums up a lot. You know, it might not be exactly how I see it, but a lot of the shit he said I can't agree with about it. You know, people, like, if you're healthy enough and you get sick, you're not gonna die from it. Let's be honest. Like, if you're healthy enough, you're not gonna die from it, you know, or any disease. So that's what I have to say. And Chaos, I'll take it back to you, man.
Now, with that being said, we talked about a wide range of topics today, this night. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to always stay positive. Just stay real out there. Tell you what you think. Tell everybody what you think. It doesn't matter. Because if people can't accept you for your beliefs and who you are, fuck them. Be yourself. Stay true. This is Chaos. This is Luke.
This has been
Have
Luke.
a good one.
See you guys.